field. We did have some fun back when the skies were blue and the sun was shining brightly. Phil Niekro, one of the many Braves legends on the field for the Legends versus Legends softball game, and that's tonight's SunTrust shining moment.
Well, the fans had a great time watching these guys crank a few balls over the temporary fence that was set up. Steve Avery, John Rocker here, and Brian Jordan hooked up with a GoPro camera. Good for him. I bet that was fun. Yeah, Nuxie was throwing underhand knuckleballs. Of course he was. And Marty Perez getting a swing at him. So a lot of fun before the ball game. That was the first pitch. Brian Jordan went deep on the very first one. Ryan Klesko almost hit one in the seats. Chipper.
Yep. Whoa. Gone. Watch out for that fence.
And Marquise Grissom. Oh my gosh. Hang on, Marquise. He did. He's out.
Oh, it was a great sight. So Aaron Harang takes the field at long last, approaching 3 hours and 40 minutes. No pitches were thrown, so our game officially has not begun. It will with Denard Span leading off for the Nationals. He's their #1 hitter on the Toyota starting lineup, and he is red hot, as you see, over the last 16 games. Kevin Franzen's in left, Harper's in right. Jason Worth was originally in the lineup tonight but was scratched. He is not expected to play against Aaron Harang tonight.
Aaron Harang's last 8 starts, outstanding. 4 no decisions in those 8 starts, but when he's got a decision, outstanding work with just a 170 average against him. He's ready for football season. He's got a chin strap taped to his face tonight.
And at long last, we're underway. A strike.
His 4 keys to pitching success tonight. #1, high 5. This will be his 5th attempt to get into double figures in wins. And Houdini, he's been outstanding when he does get into some jams of getting out of them. And I like him in this rain delay. Who knows better about how to pace themselves and wait, be patient for when he does have to start warming up than a veteran pitcher like Aaron compared to a young pitcher like Tanner Roark.
Official game time temperature 73 degrees. Official rain delay 3 hours and 41 minutes. And quickly, Denard Span down 2 strikes. And it's body blocked by Gaddis. 1-2.
Kind of figured this to be a kind of boisterous, giddy crowd after consuming so much in the way of concessions.
Yes.
Over the last 3 hours.
So Liquid Tomahawk should be in fine form tonight on a rainy night. And Span awaits a 1-2 pitch. It's way high. 2-2. Game streak for Span. He's been on base in 34 straight. Boy, he looked good swinging the bat last night. 3 hits and a run scored for Washington. This is the Denard Span they thought they were getting from the Twins. Spoils another one. You'll see his 6th pitch.
When a guy's going as good as he is and as hot as he is, you'd think he'd want to get in the box and really get after the next pitch. No, not really.
Well, you know, Span spelled backwards is naps. That's what you can take between pitches with this guy. 2-2. Popped him up. Foul ground, long run. Chris over near the Washington dugout, and it bounces on the roof.
There are the numbers on him over this stretch of games where he's reached 34 straight. He's also had a hit in 12 straight.
And from nothing in 2, now a full count. Don't want full counts tonight. Like quick resolution for these at bats. This one's Lasted 3 minutes already.
He's in the box. Throw it.
In the air to center. And Span is out number one. Here's a look at the Braves defensive lineup. Still no Andrelton Simmons. We'll get our first look at Emilio Bonifacio. He makes his first start at shortstop for the Braves this year. Andrelton is hopeful of coming back and playing on Tuesday. That's the word before the game. He was walking around the Braves clubhouse, the left ankle wrapped, but noticeable was the lack of swelling, and also noticeable was how freely he was able to move. So it's looking like Simmons will not have to be disabled, and that is great news for the Braves.
Absolutely it is.
This is Asdrubal Cabrera. Cabrera's the Washington second baseman. He had a couple of RBIs last night. He's 5 for 26 in a Washington uniform. That's his sixth hit. One out opposite field single to left field.
Tried to turn it over, down and away from him, and that's what he did with it, was take it away. At the opposite field. Nice job of hitting there.
This is Anthony Rendon. He hit a big 3-run homer for Washington last night. He scored 4 runs in the 6th and 2 in the 7th. Atlanta scored the first 7 runs, Washington the last 6. But they couldn't seal the deal. The Braves were happy about that. Irvin Santana beat Steven Strasburg. Craig Kimbrell picked up the save. Something's fluttering around Anthony Rendon. He took a cut at that with the bat. Be a big moth. Fouled straight back. If that's the case, Tom Hart opened his wallet. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Good point.
General soreness was the word we got regarding Jason Worth. He's a trio of nagging injuries. You know he's hurting if he's not playing in a series of this magnitude for Washington.
Shoulder, ankle, and I want to say a hamstring that was bothering him too. I know we saw him not more than a week ago trying to extend a base hit into a double down in Miami, and he rolled his ankle as he was going into second base. That's one of the things plaguing him, but his shoulder is the most significant right now.
Out of play, foul. And the count 1-2. Injured too was Steven Souza last night. He played right field for Washington, slammed into the fence. When Souza was asked how he was doing today, this is the way he responded. He kind of turned his whole body and head. Oh, I'm fine. And then went his merry way in the Washington clubhouse today.
We did see him out during the rain delay signing autographs, so that was a good sign for him.
That spanked down the left field line, but Rendon couldn't keep it fair. In fact, he scatters his bullpen mates.
Boy, is he quick inside. Try to sneak one by him, and he is really quick turning on it.
Matt Williams, who is a terrific third baseman in his own right, appreciates what Rendon can do afield and at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And back to first is Asdrubal Cabrera. In the air toward right. Hayward's on the run. He got there. What a catch.
I didn't think there was any chance at all. Great jump, lays out, hooks it right off the top of the wet grass. Another outstanding play.
Rendon robbed by Hayward. Now LaRoche hits with a man aboard and 2 out. Adam was 0 for 4 last night. And he swings at the first and skies it to left. Justin's there, and that ends the inning. At long last, we're underway in Atlanta. Top of the 11 o'clock hour, bottom of the first inning, and no score at Turner Field. First inning, here come the Braves, hoping to ambush Washington in the early innings like they did last night. The Toyota starting 9 has Tommy La Stella. He's roasting at home. First big league homer came here last night, a rocket off Steven Strasburg. As we mentioned, Emilio Bonifacio starts at shortstop, hitting 8th. And the Braves take aim at right-hander Tanner Roark, who's really emerged as an ace on this Washington staff.
No doubt about it. And he has been outstanding on the road. You see his numbers over his last 7 starts away from Nationals Park. Less than 1 base runner per inning over that stretch. He is 11-7 on the year with a 2.94 ERA. His Ford Keys tonight. Say what? I did that because who knew that this guy already had 11 wins and a 2.94 ERA, and he has been the beast of the East. He is 9-2 in his career against the East, a 2.94 ERA.
A roller foul off the bat of B.J. Upton, the Braves leadoff man, 1 for 4 last night. He hit his 8th home run.
This guy gave us an inkling of what was to come last year. He went 7-1 with a 1.51 ERA out of the pen and in some starts.
He just struck out B.J. Upton to start the game. 1 up, 1 down. Roark made his debut in the big leagues against the Braves. It was August 7th last year. And 36 big league games, 18-8.
Yeah, great numbers. He was 49-40 in the minor leagues for his career. 92-95 on his fastball. Good slider and a curve.
And if memory serves, Joe, he doesn't nibble. He gets after it, challenges hitters, pretty aggressive in the strike zone. And he's thrown nothing but strikes to the first 2 Braves hitters so far. Here's Tommy La Stella. Scored a couple of runs in the game last night. Bouncing ball. That is a fair ball. LaRoche at the bag makes the play. And LaStella is out to number 2. We are told that this game tonight, which started at 10:51 local time, is the latest local start time of any game played in the major leagues this year.
By an hour. The latest start before this was a 9:50 local start in Cincinnati against the Cardinals back in April.
And we've gotten several reports online with regards to more bad weather in the southeast. Of course, the pitch to Freeman is cut on and missed. The old proverbial window, several different things. More rain maybe between 11:30 and midnight. So we'll see how far we can go, hopefully without interruption the rest of the way. Freddie Freeman hit a home run last night. He knocked in a pair of runs. He's up to 64 RBIs. He's riding an 11-game hitting streak against the Nationals. Rocket down the right field line and into the corner. Freeman's on his way to second. Harper loads up. His throw is on line, but a little late. 12 games in a row for Freeman head-to-head with the Nats. His 31st double. And a chance for Atlanta to do 2-out damage just like they did in the first last night.
Looked like something upstairs, and he threw some top hand on it and ripped it. Yeah, up. Which is a little bit like the pitch he hit out last night, only the pitch up last night was a little more in than that one. This was a great throw by Harper. And a slow track trying to run for Freddie Freeman. Good thing he was hustling all the way.
Justin Upton's one hit away from 1,000. A hit here could give the Braves a first inning lead. 1 ball, no strikes. Upton's up to 20 homers again. 66 knocked in. Fourth time Upton's gotten to 20 homers in the big leagues. He hit 27 last year with the Braves, his first season in Atlanta. 1-0 pitch.
Roark's last start was against Baltimore, and he got beat 7-3. He pitched into the 7th inning, gave up 5 runs, only 1 walk and 3 strikeouts, but he also gave up 2 big homers.
Upton was jammed but fought it off. 2 balls and a strike.
Neither one of these guys, Roark or Harang, give up a lot of home runs. Roark's given up 11 on the year. I mentioned the 2 in his last start, and Harang's allowed only 9. A lot of nitrogen in the air tonight, though.
And that's always key for this Braves offense. 2-1 pitch is outside, says Greg Gibson. He was right. 3-1 now. Ball 4, Upton's aboard. And that'll bring up the birthday boy, Jason Hayward. 2 on, 2 out.
Two starts already this year for Roark. One back in April. A no decision, 4 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs. June 22nd in Washington, he beat them 4-1. 5 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. Walk 3.
Well, you got to have a good night at the plate when you turn 25, don't you?
Yep.
Hayward's already turned in a great catch. He's riding a 5-game hitting streak. 1 ball, no strikes.
I always said that I wanted to be a man by the time I was 25, but I just ran out of time. I think Jason's made it.
Up the middle, but Desmond had Hayward played perfectly, and the throw to first is in time to retire the side. If Washington doesn't shift, that's in center field, and Freeman's touching the plate. No such luck for Atlanta as we head to the second.
Heading to the top of the second inning with no score, and as Joe and Chip mentioned, 25th birthday for one Jason Hayward. So I asked Justin Upton, what did he get his teammate?
I didn't get him anything. But yeah, you know, Freddie got him a cake, and we also told him happy birthday. So you know, I'm sure he'll enjoy his day, and you know, getting younger in this game. So we're enjoying it while we're young.
Love only goes so far. There's tough love out in the Braves outfield, but all they want for Jason's birthday and everybody's is a second consecutive win over the Nationals, guys.
That'd be a great gift, Andre.
Here, here.
Ian Desmond is the Washington shortstop. He starts the second inning. And ground ball to second. Easy play for Tommy. He makes it. And Harang gets a ground out. First of those tonight. Desmond's retired in front of Bryce Harper. Harper was hitless last night, 0 for 3. Couple of strikeouts and a walk. Harper with 4 homers and 16 knocked in. He missed 57 games with thumb surgery. It's the left thumb, his top hand. And it has led to quite a bit of offensive frustration for this very talented Washington outfielder.
Great first pitch changeup.
Little bloop past Chris Johnson, and it's going to kiss the chalk. Bryce Harper with a bloop single will lead from first with 1 out.
Remember last night we talked about Jason Hayward hustling into a double. I like watching him run the bases. Well, this is a case where Bryce Harper was more interested in watching the baseball. He might have had 2 if he had been running hard out of the box.
And that at times has put him in the crosshairs with his skipper Matt Williams. Harper didn't run out a ground ball earlier this year and was taken out of the lineup, which caused a minor sensation in Washington. So he's at first with the catcher Ramos up, a double play candidate for Harang. Ramos though has power too. He's hit 5 homers. Doesn't sound like much, but he's a man that's spent a lot of time on the DL this year. Not one, but two separate DL stints. Ramos is hitting to 6 double plays this year. Short lead for Harper at first. And cued foul by Ramos. 2 balls and a strike. It's been a long time since Aaron Harang has tasted victory. His last win was July 10th for the Braves. Another chance for him to earn number 10 tonight. No decision last time out against the Padres. 2 runs over 6 innings. So he is overdue for some good fortune.
Yeah, all of these no decisions, he's pitched well, including the very first no decision after that win you were talking about. 6 innings of 5-hit shutout ball against Philadelphia. The team eventually lost that game 2-1.
Ramos didn't get a breaking ball. 2-2. His ERA is 2.8. The Braves are giving him 2.9 runs. That's how you earn 4 no decisions. Ramos didn't get that pitch. I'm not sure what that was. It appeared to be up in the zone, and Ramos missed it by plenty.
I think it was a big old slow curveball. Didn't break all that much, but it came looping out of his hand up high. And the change of speed really threw him off.
So Harper still anchored at first with 2 outs. First Aaron Harang strikeout. And Kevin Franzen's the batter. He took over after Steven Souza slammed into the fence last night. High in the air, deep toward left. Justin Upton on the run, and he's going to make the grab. All that nitrogen kept it in the ballpark. Franzen hit that ball a ton. No runs a hit, a man left. Evan Gattis leads off for Atlanta in the second. Still no score. Braves and fans, Evans bobblehead night is almost here. Don't miss out. Secure your tickets for August 13th. Evan Gattis bobblehead night is presented by Grady Hospital. The first 20,000 fans get to take home this one-of-a-kind souvenir. Get your tickets today at Braves.com or by phone at 800-745-3000. .275 for Gattis, 17 homers, 43 knocked in. Since coming off the DL with that disc problem, Gattis is hitting .212 for the Braves, just 4 RBIs in 14 games.
Yeah, the hard part about that is that he was so hot just prior to the injury.
He's behind 0-2 here to Roark. Tantalizes him outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Tanner Roark was originally a Texas Ranger property. He was drafted in the 25th round out of Illinois back in 2008.
There's a hit for Evan. He's the 3rd Braves base runner of the night. First leadoff man to reach.
Nationals got Roark in the deal for Christian Guzman. Left the fastball up here. We know around that range, around letter high to Evan. That's his wheelhouse.
And aboard for Chris Johnson, the Braves' 3rd baseman. For his last 10. And launches one to the right side, foul for a strike. Overall, though, Chris on a nice run, hitting .289 over his last 21 games. He's knocked in 20 men in those 21 outings. Bouncing ball toward first. LaRoche fires to second for 1. And the throw to the pitcher covering the bag at first in plenty of time, and the Braves are doubled up. 3-6-1 the Twin killing. And this will be Emilio Bonifacio.
One of the scouting reports on Roark that I got was that he is an excellent athlete. Can do a lot of things. Well, you just saw some real good hustle on his part to get over there to be the recipient of the throw back from Desmond.
So the home debut for Emilio. Braves acquired him while we were on the road trip. Down at the deadline for the Cubs. Braves are his 8th big league team.
One of the other things scouts like about Roark is his repeatable delivery, and that the baseball, no matter which pitch he's throwing, always comes out of the same spot, same arm slot.
He wastes little time, too. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Off Bonifacio's knuckles, and that's a foul ball. New baseball for Tanner Roark, and Bonifacio another swing here. One thing the Braves love about Bonifacio is his versatility. With the Cubs, he played right, center, second, third, and shortstop. He can switch hit. He's got speed. He's a very versatile player, which gives Fredi Gonzalez a multitude of options and ways to use this man as an offensive or defensive weapon. And ground ball to second. Cabrera's got it. And Roark is out of second inning trouble. Braves got a leadoff hit, a double play, and a ground out to second. Moves it along to inning number 3 scoreless. One-minute rain delay before a pitch was thrown in anger tonight. So we move to the 3rd inning. All season long, Braves baseball is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price every day. Weezer will be here on August 12th with the Dodgers in town. Part of the Braves summer concert series. That's a Tuesday night. Weezer's concert is presented by Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines. It'll be a post-game show. Limited VIP field passes are available as well. They're just $20 each. Act fast. Go to Braves.com/concerts today.
Every time I mention Weezer to anybody being here Tuesday night, the response I get is, I love Weezer. So I expect there to be a good crowd in anticipation of the concert.
Tanner Roark is the Washington pitcher, and he's down 2 quick strikes. He can handle the bat a bit. He's got 8 sacrifices this year, but he struck out 15 times in 42 at bats. That's a 119 batting average. That ball's hit hard, but Hayward's going to track it down, and he does. 1 out. One of the things you love about Aaron Harang is the ways he can get outs. He can get the ball on the ground, which is always a good idea. But on a muggy night like tonight, where we've had the rain and the air is heavy and dense, you can let these Nationals swing as hard as they want, and it's going to take a mighty clout to get it out of the ballpark.
Yeah, I thought Franzen's was gone when it left the bat, but it was not.
5 flyouts for Harang so far tonight. 1 strikeout, 1 ground out, and 2 hits. This is Span. Long at bat for him in the 1st inning. He flied out to center, and he laces one down the 3rd baseline foul.
Almost got Jerry Davis, who was chasing him. Missed him by that much.
That's upstairs for Span. A ball and a strike. Span was born in Washington, D.C., but spent the most of his time growing up in Tampa. Came over from the Twins for Alex Meyer after the 2012 season. He's an all-state wide receiver at Tampa Catholic, so Span a terrific all-around athlete. He's 30 years young. And he looked outside, ball 3. In the air, softly toward left. Late break by Upton, but he'll get there. And Span is 0 for 2. Remember, he's got a 12-game hit streak on the line tonight. And another fly out for Harang. 2 quick outs for Cabrera. Cabrera's first inning single gave him a 5-game hitting streak. Struble was a 2-time All-Star in the American League with the Indians, and before this season had played a total of 162 career games at second base. He's a shortstop by trade, but he's not going to replace Ian Desmond at that position. He's playing second, and he's going to sky out to left. Harang gets another fly out. Easy frame for him. 10 pitches. Aaron will go to work first in the 3rd inning. Still no score. Game 2, Braves and Nats. For one, as he's the subject of our AT Universe trivia question. He's 3rd in the National League in hits. Name the last National or Expo to lead the National League in hits in a season. Seems to me we had this question before. Aaron Harang's the batter.
Like Mike Lansing or Mark Grudzielanek.
Tim Raines.
Or Jose Vidro.
Vidro was on my list. Ground ball towards second. Cabrera's got it. And throw the first in time. Larry Walker might be on that list. Galarraga. Andre Dawson. I mean, go on down the line. They had some great players in the history of the Expos/Nationals franchise. So a lot of names to choose from. And here's Upton. .36th game for BJ, batting first. He scored 27 runs in those 36 games. That's the good news. The bad news is he's still very strikeout prone. Upton now with 144 of those in 421 at bats. And up and off the screen, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He hit a breaking ball last night that was down, that broke down and in. But they've been attacking him aggressively with fastballs.
And Upton breaks his bat as he swung and missed. And he's down on strikes for the second time. 2 in total for Roark. And here's Tommy La Stella. Some personal history last night and a whole lot of fun after he circled the bases.
First major league homer comes off Steven Strasburg. Clipped a fastball. Came back to the dugout to the cheers. Well, kind of the cheers of his teammates. Silent treatment.
I mean, it was a big league silent treatment too. I mean, they made him sweat it out, didn't they?
Yeah, that was fun.
Look on La Stella has always been, he's a good hitter. He's shown that at the big league level. Hits lefties, hits righties, hits with men on base in scoring position. Spoils tough pitches. I don't know if he's ever going to be a 20 home run guy in the major leagues.
I don't think so.
But man, line drive hitter, that's a valuable asset, especially for a first year player. It's inside. 2-2.
Will Greg Gibson let you know where it is, what it is, and he lets you know quick. Gotta like that.
Line drive into center field with 2 strikes for La Stella. He entered play tonight, second among National League rookies in average. And he's second to Billy Hamilton in hits. That's Tommy's 67th base hit of the year.
And when you start seeing kids wearing La Stella shirts and jerseys in the crowd, you know that he's found a place in the hearts of a lot of Braves fans. I agree with you. I don't think he's going to be a 20 home run guy, but he might be a 5 to 10 home run guy with a high average. And those types of players, big on base percentage for middle infielders, are a very valuable commodity.
Freeman swings the first pitch and skies it towards center. Span drifts back, and at the edge of the warning track makes the play to retire the side. No runs, a hit, a man left. 4th inning in Atlanta, no score. It's injured right leg night tonight.
Yeah, speaking of breaking up
at Turner Field. Here's Anthony Rendon as we go to the fourth. He lined out to right. Great catch by Hayward. And Rendon, the subject of our Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard.
This guy's having himself quite a year. National League ranked first in runs, top 10 in all those other categories. Really good looking young hitter.
And he's been so good, it's really forced the Nationals into some very difficult decisions. Most notably, what are they going to do with Adam LaRoche? You might ask, well, what does that have to do with Anthony Rendon? Well, Rendon has been such a good hitter and such a good defender at third base. Ryan Zimmerman moved to the outfield. The arthritic shoulder and the throwing problems that entailed put Zimmerman in left. Well, Zimmerman playing left meant they had 4 outfielders for 3 spots. And so maybe the logical conclusion for Washington might be put Zimmerman at first base, Harper, Span, Worth in the outfield, and let Rendon handle the hot corner. And that's outside. Ball 4. Leadoff man on for Washington for the first time tonight. And I don't know if they can afford to lose the bearded man, Adam LaRoche, whose twin was at the ballpark tonight. At least he was earlier.
How about it, Duck Dynasty? Willie was there tonight.
Adam's got some work to do.
Gosh, I hope not.
A strike to LaRoche.
Your point's a good one, though. And with Rendon being younger, healthier, Zimmerman's bad arm and shoulder, they're not going to put him back at third base. I don't see any scenario where they would or why they would want to.
I mean, you could keep LaRoche. You could maybe move Denard Span or move Jason Worth. But again, the Nationals know their team far better than I. But when you have good young players coming up, it forces you into maybe some decisions you don't want to make, but you have to make. I think that's something that's going to be very fascinating to follow with Washington, because they're going to be a team the Braves have to contend with, and vice versa, for a long time in the division. And Adams had a couple of really terrific years. And that one's off Tommy's glove, and it trickles at a shallow center. No further advance by Rendon. And LaRoche with a scorcher is aboard. 2 on, nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning. Infield hit.
Well, like you said last night about Adam, he can still hit, and I think he's still got a couple of years left in the tank. So if they decide that they don't want to bring him back, I'll bet you there's a couple of American League teams that would like to have him either to play first base because he's a quality defensive player, or to play a little first and DH.
And I think that's an excellent point too, Joe. No one talks about LaRoche's defense. They talk about what he gives you with the bat. Think of the number of errors he saved this Nationals team the last couple of years. So Ian Desmond's the hitter with 2 on, nobody out. He's knocked in 69 runs. Ground ball. Tommy flags that. High throw. Bonifacio flagged it and couldn't complete the double play. But 2 good efforts to get a force play at second base. That retires LaRoche. Washington runners at first and third for Bryce Harper.
That had the makings of something really ugly, and it was turned into something really good. Nice play there by Tommy, but his turn and throw looked like it might even sail into left field or down the left field line, and a nice save by Bonifacio to get it out.
So Bryce Harper with a chance to plate the first run of the game. Harper singled his last time up. A little dunk shot over third base that landed on the foul line. play. Harper now 2 at bats has done the same thing as he makes his way to the left-hand batter's box. Watch what he does when he gets to the A behind home plate.
Just endears himself to more Braves fans.
Harper's hitting to 5 twin killings. Double play in order here with 1 out. And going outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
4 keys to the game for Aaron Harang. One of them was Houdini. He's been good at getting out of these spots.
Ground ball, foul. Now he's got Harper set up for the strikeout.
'61 strikeouts for Harper and 194 at bats. A high rate for him as well.
Smothered by Gaddis. And Harper never offered. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Games of this magnitude, the first run is often critically important.
Always a big one.
2-2 pitch now. Harper skies one toward left. That's slicing toward the seats. And out of play.
Keep an eye on Desmond. He's been kind of timing Harang. I thought he was about to go on that pitch. And he would have had a good jump, but he decided against it.
That's a good call. He's got 12 steals this year for the Nats. He's got a big lead at first. Not going. And Harper's frozen. Strike 3 called inside corner, 2 out. Gutsy pitch by Harang.
Right there. Fastball right there. 2-seamer came back. Can drag his foot or his bat back to the dugout.
So Wilson Ramos is the hitter. Couple of strikeouts for Aaron. 2 on, 2 out now. And Ramos was reaching. And it's into the club level. Strike 1. In a season that's seen the Nationals reach the 62-52 mark in the 1-loss column. Runner at first goes. The pitch is bobbled by Gaddis. No chance to get Desmond, who steals it standing up. Washington's division lead is 3.5 games, and they might be in a position of saying, well, what could have been? All the injuries Matt Williams' club has endured. They've had their envisioned starting lineup together for a grand total of 17 games this year. And they're 12-5 in those games.
They definitely need Worth back in there. They're not as good a lineup without him.
Ground ball right side. Tommy to his left. Fumbles for a moment, but had time to get the catcher. And how about Aaron Harang? 2 on, nobody out. He pitches out of trouble. Justin Upton, Jason Hayward, Evan Gaddis, your Delta Airlines on deck trio coming up. Still scoreless in the 4th.
the bottom of the fourth inning. The Braves are locked in a scoreless tie with the Nationals. When we take a look at our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot numbers and some awfully impressive digits for Justin Upton when playing here in Georgia against the Nats. His last 7 games against Washington here at Turner Field, .519 batting average, 4 home runs, and those other ridiculous numbers. Talked to him earlier tonight. He told me that his teammates aren't putting extra pressure on themselves in this most important series, although they're very confident competing against the Nationals. And obviously, Justin's bat is putting a lot of pressure on Nats pitching as he leads off here in the fourth, Chip.
Thank you, Andre. You're right. Upton's done great work here at Turner Field so far this year. And he looks for a base hit here in the fourth inning. Still looking for that milestone 1,000th big league hit. Always like the chances with Justin in his home park. And he grounds to second on the first pitch. And there's out number 1. Upton .319 with 13 home runs here at Turner Field. Not this time, though. And Jason Hayward bats with 1 out.
I'm still trying to get over how many people stayed here after that 3-hour and 40-minute rain delay. It's almost midnight, and we've still got a ton of fans that were ready for the start of this game.
Love it. Absolutely love it and appreciate it, quite honestly. We got the best fans of baseball here tonight at Turner Field, seeing the Braves and Nats square off in game 2 of the series. 3.5 games separate these clubs. And we figure to have a big crowd tomorrow night for Sunday night baseball. That'll be the ESPN game of the world.
Yeah, remember that's an 8 o'clock start. You folks that had tickets for a Sunday day game. 8:05 first pitch.
And that'll be Alex Wood and Gio Gonzalez to wrap up the series. Up and in for Hayward. 3 balls and a strike. Hayward 10 hits in his last 21 at bats. Fly ball hammered right center field. Span on the run. Still going. Is going to get there.
Ball's not carrying, is it?
That's 3 by my count that might have gone earlier today or last night. No luck for Hayward. 2 outs. Thought he got it. So the Braves and Nats are going to have to manufacture some offense, it appears, tonight. Here's Gaddis. Nitrogen or no, you like your chances with Gaddis if he connects solidly.
Oh, he can cut through the nitrogen.
Well, 1 pitch way outside at 91 miles an hour. Now it's even. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Hey, how about Brad Penny making a return to the big leagues?
Pitched his first game for the Marlins in 10 years. After numerous other big league stops, he beat the Reds tonight for the Marlins. They won 4-3 in Cincinnati. And Gaddis is down on strikes.
They just keep pounding fastballs, don't they?
They sure do. 3 up, 3 down. We head to the 5th. 8-9-1 up for the Nets. No score. tonight's Home Depot tools from the dugout. Let's check out the Braves' work from a pitching standpoint against Major League Baseball this year.
Doing a great job against their interdivision rivals. Good relief ERA as well. Just got to tighten it up a little bit record-wise against everybody else. ERA is not all that bad, but by comparison, it's a half a run worse.
And Harang doing his part against the East and the Nationals tonight. 4 shutout innings. Little scare last frame. As Franzen was off stride and skies to left. Upton should have no trouble. He makes the play. You've said this a couple of times about Harang, and I love the comment that Freddie Gonzalez has made. Harang's going to have base runners. He's going to give up his share of hits. And Freddie Gonzalez said, I've gotten used to Aaron Harang's pitching style.
And the fact that he's not afraid to walk a guy, even with a runner on base, to get to a guy that he feels comfortable that he can get out. If he feels like there's a spot in the batting order, opponent's batting order, that he can get to get an out to get an inning, then that's what he does. And that's why you see that right at 300 batting average with nobody on base, and then it really dwindles from there.
Can you imagine where the Braves would be without Aaron Harang?
Nope. Well, yeah.
Yes, but no, right?
Yes. It wouldn't be 3.5 games out.
He's trying to win his 10th game. A little comebacker, should be no trouble. It's not. And 2 quick outs. Roark's retired. We go back to the top, and Denard Span. It's almost Sunday, maybe a minute shy of midnight here in Atlanta. We had a 3-hour and 41-minute rain delay just as the teams were ready to take the field to start the game. Neither Harang nor Roark threw a pitch. The tarp came out about 20 minutes after the weather delay took place. The skies opened up, and it didn't stop raining until about 10:30. So here's Denard Span, and a little low. 1 ball, no strikes. That evens it up. Crowd's got the wave going at the midnight hour. And upstairs, 2-1. Mets beat the Phillies tonight 2-1. That was another extra inning game for the Phillies.
11 innings.
Phillies have played 16 extra inning games this year.
Mercy.
All the way to the backstop for Span. 3 balls and a strike. Milwaukee beat the Dodgers 4-1. Zach Greinke was the losing pitcher for Los Angeles. Interesting stat. One point Greinke was 15-0 at Miller Park. That was while he was with the Brewers. He hasn't won there since. In fact, Greinke has not beaten Kansas City, the Angels, or the Brewers, his 3 previous major league teams. His next chance for redemption could come here in Atlanta. 3-1 pitch. Is it a strike, full count.
Back to that Mets and Phillies game. That was the 6th extra inning game between those 2 teams out of 14 this year.
Wow. They added Charlie Manuel to their, I guess they call it their wall of honor at Citizens Bank tonight.
That's nice.
A rousing ovation from the Philly faithful. As Span shoots one toward the gap in left center field, and that's going to get down for extra bases. Span's on his way to second. He's going to turn there and head to third, and he's going to make it with a slide. A 2-out triple for Denard Span, and that's now a 13-game hitting streak for the Washington leadoff man.
13-game hitting streak. He's reached base in 35 straight games. And he can really scoot. Again, going with the pitch, much like Cabrera did in the first inning, but this time Span splits the gap.
I think that's such an underappreciated art in Major League Baseball now. Base running. Look how quickly and efficiently he cut the bags. Made it look effortless, didn't he?
It hit him in stride.
Another chance for the Nationals. It's Cabrera with 2 outs, and he looks low, ball 1. His first inning single, his first ever hit against Aaron Harang. Rendon's on deck. I'd rather face him with the bases empty in the 6th.
Got Cabrera to chase a backdoor breaking ball, but it was on the first pitch of the sequence back in the 3rd inning. See if they can get him to swing at another breaking ball. I think that was just a change. But a good 2-0 pitch.
Dangerous count for Harang now. 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, that one missed badly. I think they were trying to go away with a fastball and held on to that one a little too long.
Down the left field line and out of play. Good catch by the ball boy.
How big is that glove? Good grief. Behind door number 1 down there.
He used it well. Full count. And he missed. A couple of bad misses for Harang in that sequence. Now he will have to face Rendon with runners at 1st and 3rd with 2 outs. Washington's already left 4 men on base tonight. They've got 2 more aboard here in the 5th. And this is one of those situations that I think Freddie Gonzalez was alluding to. You do have a base open. It happens to be second base, and you've got Rendon, a hot hitter in the box. The lefty Adam LaRoche is next. Rendon made him throw a strike.
And both Rendon and LaRoche have been getting some big hits for them lately. So let's pick your poison, right-handed or then the left-hander. And he's ahead of Rendon.
Ground ball to Bonifacio. He's got it, and the flip to second retires the side. Aaron Harang continues his magical work with runners on base tonight. Washington strands 2 more. Chris Johnson leads off the Atlanta 5th next. Braves and Nats 2-game swing in the Eastern standings, pending the outcome of Game 2 of the series. Now it's time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag SouthFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by our friends AT&T. Just past midnight, and Zombies will be taking over the ballpark on Friday the 15th. The Braves and A's hook up here at the TED. Fans who buy the Zombie special ticket package will get a Zombie survival kit, as well as the opportunity to parade on the field pregame with all the other Zombies. Go to Braves.com/zombie for more information.
What are they trying to say? The other Zombies like the ground crew?
Guessing.
Wow. Tonight would have been a great night.
Right?
Full moon, witching hour,
long rain delay,
little fog,
nitrogen. It always comes back to that, doesn't it? Chris Johnson, fair ball past the first base bag. Harper got to it pretty quickly. And a throw back to first, but LaRoche a good 15 feet beyond the bag down the right field line. How about that thing of beauty for Chris Johnson?
Lovely. And if you're not sure, then don't go. He was thinking about it. Bryce Harper with a great arm, got to it quickly. Good start for the Braves in their half of the fifth.
Second time the Braves have put the leadoff man on tonight. Here's Bonifacio. He bounced out to second to end the Braves second. I wonder if on Zombie night they will have any of the cast or crew from the Walking Dead series, which is filmed here in Atlanta.
Could be.
Hot shot, base hit, and almost picked off Johnson. He had to skip the rope. And now Harang a chance to bunt, and he can handle the bat. So things setting up nicely for the Braves here in the fifth.
Boy, did he turn on that ball. Two-seamer going away from him a little bit and raked it almost into the foot of Chris Johnson. Skipped the rope.
Look at these fans tonight. You wouldn't know they've waited out a 3-hour and 41-minute rain delay. So Harang looks for his 8th sacrifice. And he laid it down. Roark pounced off the mound, and Rendon's going to throw to first for the double play. Not what Atlanta was looking for. Runner at second, 2 outs.
Last night Santana put a bunt down that he wished he had pushed down the first base line. Instead he went to third, and the sacrifice attempt was unsuccessful. Here's one that needed to go down the third base line, but instead it was hard back to the mound and an easy 1-5-3 double play, or 1-5-4.
Second twin killing for the Nationals defense. Now Upton the hitter with 2 outs. Fast man at second. Emilio's got a huge lead. And PJ takes a strike. Both Upton strikeouts are swinging. mark is popping the glove tonight.
Yeah, you'd think that he was throwing 98 instead of 91. The way Ramos's glove is popping.
Ramos tried to steal a strike there, missed outside. La Stella on deck. Braves would love Upton to reach and give Tommy a chance. In the air, shallow center. Span is coming on and is going to get there. Nice job by Tanner Roark. The Braves put 2 on with nobody out, but double play and a fly out moves our game to the 6th inning. Still no score.
Of the 6th inning, still no score in this battle between the Nats and the Braves. And the Hall of Fame bust of Bobby Cox, Greg Maddux, and Tom Glavine made it to Atlanta in a few hours before tonight's ball game. They're outside of manager Freddie Gonzalez's office, so many of the players made their way outside of the clubhouse, and they were observing everything. And really, Gonzalez said it best, goosebumps. That feeling from him, from Justin Upton, from Craig Kimbrell, and pretty much, guys, everybody inside the clubhouse, not replicas, but the real deal.
Yeah, those were really cool, Andre. I got a chance to see them before the game, too. We had the video on Hall of Fame induction weekend of Greg Maddux's dad actually applying the screws to his son's plaque to put it on the wall in Cooperstown. If you get a chance to see those plaques when they're hung, those aren't exactly screws. They're called rosettes. Do you know what shape they're in?
Diamonds.
A baseball. And LaRose just hit one a mile to right center field. And that puts Washington ahead 1-0. So it's the Nationals who strike first. And Adam LaRoche has come back to Atlanta with home run number 16. It's 1-0. Got the count in his favor and did not miss.
That's anything down, anything below the belt to him is where he wants it. Great low ball hitter. Got some terrific extension on that.
So Washington leads 1-0. Here's Ian Desmond. And back to the sculptures, or the Hall of Fame plaques. Each one of those portraits is hand carved.
That's wonderful.
And there's an artist who's been doing them for years, and her name escapes me. I apologize for that. But she hand carves those for the Hall of Fame, and then each player is also given a replica of his plaque. It's a scaled down version, and that's also hand carved. Imagine the difficulty for the artist in trying to recreate her original piece of art and make it look as close to the Cooperstown plaque as possible.
That'd be difficult. I'm surprised that it's not cast.
Nope, hand carved, I was told, by the curators downstairs tonight. Braves country, get ready. There are going to be a couple more plaques coming your way in the years to come. John Smoltz, Chipper Jones. I think John Sherholtz should be in. And hopefully they too will take their rightful place in the Hall of Fame. 2-2 pitch for Desmond, and served foul to the right. Bounce into the Braves dugout. And Chan looked it up, the artist's name who does those plaque carvings. Very talented lady. Her name is Mindy Ellis. Thanks, Chan. Line drive on a short hop to Bonifacio. High throw, and Freeman was able to keep a toe hold on the bag. That takes care of Desmond. Sharply hit, 1 out.
Tough play for Bonifacio. Short hop, and handled it, and fortunate to have a big old boy over there at first base to be able to do that.
No A desecration for Harper this time up. Strikeouts will do that to you. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Check swing, and that bothered that thumb. That's exactly what you talked about last night, Joe. You don't want to get jammed, and he just did, and jammed badly.
It's almost a pitch that looked like about to hit him, a run up and in on him, and defended himself a little bit here. But you can see when the bat gets in that position where it's down in the, really resting on the thumb, and the bat is hit, or ball hits the bat, it can send shock waves through you, even on a good day, not just a surgically repaired thumb.
It's been a rough 12 to 18 months for Harper as far as the medical procedures are concerned. He's had knee surgery, he's had the thumb surgery, and the left hand has given him a whole lot of problems at the plate this year. He's hitting just .251. I guess the Braves will try to go in there again.
Watch how the bat gets cradled down underneath there, so all the force of that pitch is going right into the thumb.
Immediately after contact, Harper took that top hand off the bat. Nothing in 2. Little looper into left field. That's going to drop for Harper's second hit. 2 hits, neither one of them hit hard, but perfectly placed. That'll make his left thumb feel better. He's talking about it with first baseman Freddie Freeman, who's seeing exactly where Harper was hurting. Second hit of the inning. LaRoche led off with a homer. Now Harper aboard with a 1-out single. And here's Ramos. He jumps on the first pitch and drives it toward right center. BJ on the run, still going. He's going to get there. Bryce Harper's all the way around second, and he's just now realizing that there is only 1 out. That's going to be an easy double play. Bryce Harper forgot how many outs there were. And the Nationals are doubled up in the 6th inning. Thank you very much. Adam LaRoche hit a homer to put Washington in front, and Bryce Harper was a dead duck. Here we go, home 6th. LaStella, Freeman, and Justin go to work for the Braves. Where Delta flies in the continental U.S. 2 nights hotel accommodations and $250 in spending cash. Enter on your mobile devices or computer at foxsports.com/south/delta. We wish all of you good luck.
Not too young to chop.
Or stay awake after midnight.
That's what cotton candy's for. Could use some up here about right now.
Tommy LaStella. Braves are down a run. Atlanta has 5 hits. LaStella's got 1 of them. It was back in the 3rd. Braves have had a couple of chances tonight. They had him 1st and 2nd in the 1st with 2 outs. Couldn't score. Leadoff man in the 2nd. Raced on a double play. Best chance was last inning. 2 on, nobody out with Harang up trying to bunt. Bunted into a double play, and the rally died there.
Yeah, what hurts about that is the fact that LaRoche leads off the very next half inning with a homer. You know, you were unable to take advantage of a 1st and 2nd nobody out situation with a pitcher up, and it came back to haunt you with that guy's homer.
That's why I said earlier tonight the Braves may have to manufacture their offense with the ball not carrying very well. All of their runs last night came as a result of home runs. When the Braves get them, this is a very exciting offense. Manufacturing runs on the road trip and early tonight has been a problem. There's another start. LaStella is issued a leadoff walk in a 1-run game. That's the 2nd walk for Roark, and Freddie Freeman is the Braves hitter.
And LaStella on base 2 more times.
Well, Washington's first baseman's homered. How about the Braves tonight? He was thinking about it and fouled it off.
They'd have had a run in the first inning were it not for the defensive alignment of the Nationals. With those two guys on base, first and second, 2 out. Desmond was bird dogging the runner at second, was in perfect spot for a ground ball hit up the middle by Hayward. And that's where he's playing Freeman right now too.
So a big gap between the shortstop and third baseman. Some space in left center and right center for Freddie. Rendon gives him the third base line. The 1-1 pitch. It's foul at the plate.
He hasn't thrown many changeups, straight changeups tonight, but they've been effective. That was a good one. Again, this guy going for his 12th win tonight. He's tied with Doug Fister for the team lead in wins. I don't know that they had that on their scorecard when the season started in August.
And remember, Fister started the year on the disabled list for Washington. Missed the first month. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So yeah, Tanner Roark, more wins than Jordan Zimmerman, more wins than Steven Strasburg, more wins than Gio Gonzalez. Fact of that trio, only Zimmerman is above 500 this year in rotation for Washington. He's 7-5. Freeman a base hit to right field. LaStella around second. He's not going to challenge Harper's arm. And for the second consecutive inning, the Braves have their first 2 aboard with nobody out.
He went to the well once too often with the changeup and left it in the middle of the plate. So all Freddie had to do here, even though he was fooled a little bit, was hook it. And again, another swing with some serious top hand. Excellent opportunity here with the middle of the order up.
Justin Upton has walked and grounded out. Game on the bases for the Braves. 2 on, none out. And high from Roark, who's working through the lineup against the Braves for a 3rd time. Upton is wearing him out. Matt Williams enjoys a nervous 1-0 lead. Inside, 2 balls and a strike.
Justin's doing a good job of laying off that borderline high pitch too. One that he has had trouble in the past trying to catch up to. And he's just leaving it alone.
And the sweeper's off the plate.
And he swung it at once, but he didn't swing at that one. Started too far off the plate. Justin's got to be patient here. He wants to do the damage. He wants to drive in the runs. He wants to get that 1,000th hit. But if it's not right where he wants it, you got a left-handed hitter on deck who's been swinging it good too with the bases loaded.
And Upton took 3 pitches in the same spot. Nice at bat.
Great at bat.
And now they're loaded with nobody out.
It was a smart at bat.
first time tonight, Steve McCatty, the fine Washington pitching coach, heads to the center of the infield. 2 walks in the inning, 3 in the game. And Hayward, red hot, is the Braves hitter.
I love watching these old pitchers go to the mound that are pitching coaches. Steve McCatty threw a few breaking balls in his day, and he cannot straighten his right arm. If you watch him, it's not crooked because that's just the way he walks. It's because it is bent. That right arm.
His message delivered as Hayward bats this year for the 9th time with the bases loaded. With runners in scoring position, Jason's hitting .295. Fly ball should tie the game. Hayward's thinking about more than that. Look what he's done of late with runners in scoring position. Even better than that .295 mark. Roark got the call.
Not Jason's pitch. He's middle of the plate away, not middle in.
Gaddis is next, but first a 1-strike pitch for Hayward. A little more to his liking, but he fouled it back.
Anytime you're in a tough, bases loaded, nobody out situation, you're the pitcher. You get a first out strikeout. That is huge to your confidence, thinking that you might be able to get out of it without any damage.
Here comes the 0-2. No chase for Jason.
Nice job of fighting that off. It's already 20 pitches in the inning, and he hasn't gotten an out yet. That might have been the same pitch that Jason took for a strike, first pitch of the at bat. And with 2 strikes, he had to hack at it and able to see another one.
Now it's 1-2.
Going back out.
And too far outside. Costello walked to start the inning. Freeman singled. Justin Upton walked. Now Hayward, after falling behind 0-2, has an even count.
That's what they have to do, though. If they go away from Jason, they've got to go way off the plate because he'll reach it otherwise.
Inside, ball 3.
Can't be quite so fine now, can he? Roark, I'm talking about.
Here comes the payoff pitch. And Hayward skies it to center. It's shallow. Span is there. There's the catch. Costello's tagging. He's coming to the plate. The ball hits the back of the mound and bounces straight in the air. A sac fly for Hayward, and our game is tied at 1.
Boy, and a scary incident there. The bat broke in half, and the business end of it pinwheeled into the seats right behind the screen. A great at bat by Jason, and it looks like everybody's okay down there. Hope they are. That bat snapped right in his hands, and a great break here for the Braves in that, you're right, Chip, the ball hit the back slope of the mound and popped in the air.
So the Braves cash in a leadoff walk. 2 on for Gaddis with 1 out. And he was swinging for the downs and fouled it back.
One of the hardest throws to make for a center fielder is that you've got to, when you're trying to throw it home on a play like that, you got to carry the mound. You got to hit the cutoff man, but you can't overthrow him to the extent. I mean, you got to get it over the mound, but not the extent that you're getting it over his head. Not much room for error.
Time called at the very last instant. And that has the Nationals grumbling and moving off the top of the dugout steps. Long inning for Roark continues. One of his best fastballs in the game.
Sure was. 93.
That is not Evan Gattis like. So Hayward battled back from a 2-strike count. Can Gattis here with 1 out.
Talked last night about how the Nationals like to go upstairs to try to get outs. Gattis got a base hit his first time up on a high fastball, but they may try to go way up out of the zone.
Got him with a fastball.
Yeah, that one was right there.
So Evans' troubles continue at the plate. He's struck out for the second time. 2 outs, 2 on, 1 in. And Chris Johnson is the hitter.
I tell you, I continue to be impressed by Roark, and for that matter, his teammates that pitched last night, even Strasburg. Lots of fastballs. Strasburg were not well located, but they have been pounding the zone with a lot of 90-plus fastballs.
There was another. Chris took it. He snapped an 0 for 11 with a 5th inning single. He was forced out on Harang's bunt try. Tapper back to the mound, and what a job by Roark. Bases loaded, nobody out, and the Braves manage 1 run. They cash in a leadoff walk, and we head to the 7th. We're tied up 1 apiece. Jason Hayward with a sacrifice fly and a broken bat brought home Tommy La Stella to tie things up. And now Now Aaron Harang with new life has the 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up in the Washington 7th. And a strike. Action begins in the Braves bullpen. Harang in relatively uncharted territory this year. By and large, he's been a 6-inning guy for the Braves. Up to 95 pitches. He's had a little bit of trouble in the last 3 innings. He's got Carpenter and Russell ready in relief if needed here in the top of the inning. 2 balls and a strike. Back to the mound, speared by Harang. Good play. Leadoff man retired in the 7th. As we promised you earlier tonight, we have our AT&T fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to #SouthFanPhoto for a chance to be shown in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by AT&T. Happy birthday, Jason Hayward.
Love the cake. Freddie's always said that when he got through playing, that was one of the things he'd like to do. Is have a bakery and be a cake decorator.
Future cake boss, huh? Like it. If there's any of that cake left, Chris Van Zandt, be sure to send some up.
Yeah, don't be so stingy.
1-1 for Roark. He unloads and skies one to shallow center. B.J. Upton is there. Roark is the second out.
This is kind of where we were back in the 5th inning. 2 quick outs, and then Span tripled. He walked Cabrera, and he was in the soup again. So hopefully he can retire Span and get his offense back up there again.
Might be Aaron's last inning before he's due second when the Braves hit. And we'll start with Bonifacio. But you got to worry about Span. He's swinging the bat as well as we've seen since he's worn a Washington uniform.
See if Aaron delivers a first pitch strike, thinking he'll take one for his pitcher.
He was swinging, and Bonifacio dives from an knee, throws, and not in time. Just couldn't scramble to his feet. And Span legs out an infield hit. He wasn't taking on the first pitch, and the Braves wish he had.
No, he was thinking too much about the game being on the line, and I need to get on base. And despite a great play there by Bonifacio, he is on. Emilio knew that he didn't have time to get to his feet and get his feet set and all that stuff, not with Span running. And he didn't get a good grip on the baseball either. He had that thing buried in his hand.
Let's see if Span thinks about running here with 2 outs. Left-hand hitter up. Denard's got 23 steals.
If you're Cabrera with 2 outs, and if Span's going to go, you want him to go early. You want him to give you a chance to drive you in to take the lead with more than just 1 strike to deal with.
Yeah, I'd imagine the hitter's waiting for some action at first base. You can weight yourself into a 0-2 count pretty quickly, and a tough at bat then becomes even tougher. He's pitched out in the first. And Span leads again, not moving, and the pitch grounded right at Bonifacio. Had his man played perfectly. The flip to first in time, and Aaron Harang with 7 innings of 7-hit ball. He's given up 1 run to Washington. He's due second. We'll see if he hits in a tie game. will depend on whether Bonifacio reaches. I would assume he's getting the glad hand from Carlos Tosca. 7 innings of 1-run ball. You definitely don't want to miss Monday. We'll be over on Sports South at 6:30 Eastern, covering all the action as the Dodgers come to town to take on Jason Hayward and the Braves. It's game 1 of a 4-game series. We'll also have Hall of Famer Tom Glavine. He'll join us in the booth for the bottom of the first inning. We'll talk about Cooperstown and Braves baseball Monday at 6:30 Eastern on Sports South. Tom sometimes likes to ease into the games. He likes to wait a half inning or so before he gets his broadcasting going, so we'll look forward to that.
Well, I know he's up tonight trying to take some notes, get ready.
Bonifacio first started short as a Brave, 1 for 2 tonight. Cool thing about having him at 8th tonight, he's a second leadoff guy. Fast runner, in front of the pitcher's spot. That spot on the on deck circle now occupied by Ryan Domit. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Backed up 1 off-speed pitch with another, but the second one was about 3 miles an hour slower, so that's why he really got him out on his front foot. Been a couple of times tonight. One on, I think it was on Freddie Freeman earlier tonight, where it looked like he almost slipped on his follow through as he was striding. I don't know if his foot slid up before it really grabbed. And both times he's done that, they've been strikes.
Mound looks to be in great shape.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with that. And I was just watching that step, and that step was actually more toward the outside corner. And the other two have been more like he was stepping toward the inside corner on a left-handed hitter.
One-two pitch. Missed inside. Wonder if he's stepping in the landing area of Aaron Harang, who's a bigger man, maybe has a bigger stride.
Could be.
Let's take a look.
That was his last pitch. No problems there. And it could have been just the way he was following through that made it look like he lost his balance a little bit.
Breaking ball got Bonifacio. Tanner Roark is pitching a beaut tonight. That's his 5th strikeout. And Ryan Domit will hit for Aaron Harang, who went 7 innings of 1-run ball tonight in game 2. Two walks, 2 strikeouts for Harang, who's on pace for another no decision unless the Braves can push across a run here. Amazing. Showed you earlier, last 4 starts for Harang, no wins, no losses, a 2.88 ERA. That's because the Braves are scoring 2.9 runs for him. Tonight, only 1. And the bases loaded, and nobody out, and scored once.
Ryan is due. Oh, just under it.
And he'll still be due. This one handled by Desmond in the center of the diamond. 2 big outs. Here's BJ. Strike 1. Action in both bullpens now. Jordan Walden's up for the Braves. Matt Thornton is up for Washington. They just got him on a waiver claim from the Yankees. May see him if Upton can reach with 2 outs. For 2 left-handed hitters, LaStella and Freeman are next. But the count for BJ, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that's tipped and caught. And that will retire the side. 6 strikeouts for Tanner Roark. He and Harang pitched beautiful ball tonight. We're through 7, still a 1-1 game. But boy, what a well-pitched game. Harang and Tanner Roark. Aaron Harang gave up 1 run to Adam LaRoche, a solo homer. Roark on a leadoff walk that came home to roost.
Uh-oh.
Mack.
Uh-oh.
That's truly an oh.
Uh-huh. See if I can do that a little better. That's a little better.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Delta Airlines, a proud sponsor of your Atlanta Braves.
Maybe they would come up with a new logo. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead. I'm just going to see what, have a little flash to that A. There you go. See, just like that. Yeah, there we go.
Kind of like a jet preparing to land, right?
Or just a little. I'm bouncing. Never mind. You got a little problem.
Mac, get some light bulbs, please. As Jordan Walden goes to work here in the 8th inning. Tough frame, 3, 4, and 5 for the Nationals. Starts with Rendon. And he pops up the first pitch. Thank you very much. Freddie Freeman in fair territory handles Rendon's pop. 1 pitch, 1 out for LaRoche. 2 hits for Adam tonight. An infield hit and a homer.
Keep that in mind the next time Walden comes in to face Rendon. Remember last night he came in with the bases loaded and faced Rendon, and he hit a rocket to center field to end the 7th inning. Went after the first pitch against him here again tonight. That may come along again in this series.
That's outside for Adam. 1 ball, no strikes. Remember, later on tonight, the Braves and Nats play at 8 p.m. That's an ESPN game. We will next see Washington in September. Fly ball, well hit left, but playable. 2 outs. After tomorrow night's game, the Braves will have 6 left with the Nationals. 3 in Washington, September 8th, 9th, and 10th. And then 3 here in Atlanta, September 15th, 16th, and 17th. All 6 of those games will be Monday through Wednesday affairs. Washington's schedule going in over the final 2 weeks in September. Something to look at too. They've got to play the Braves, the Mets, and they have a home-and-home series with Miami and their pitching staff. The Braves will have Washington, the Mets, Pirates, and Phillies in September's final 2 weeks. The 4 games with the Pirates will be here. Braves will play on the road in Philly the final 3 games. Washington will be home for its final 6 games of regular season play.
You know about the Nationals' struggles against Atlanta. They're 3-8 coming into play tonight. They're 6-5 against Miami, 7-2 against the Mets, and they swept the only series they've played in New York by 3 games. And they are 8-5 against Philadelphia.
$1 a.m. in Atlanta. 2 strikes for Desmond. Way high from Walden, evens it up. In the Braves 8th, they'll have their 2, 3, and 4 hitters up.
They still have some games left with some teams out west too. They have Arizona left at home. They have the Dodgers on the road, and they have San Francisco at home.
Yeah, they end August on a Philadelphia, Seattle Dodgers road trip. Fly foul out of play, full count for Desmond. Struck him out, blew him away with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 8th inning. Part of the order up for the Braves. Good ball game. Good morning, Atlanta. 1-1's your score. Coors Light in the early season games, Joe, you could always count on the Nationals defense to help the Braves offense. That's not the case of late for Matt Williams' club.
No, they played great baseball. They did commit an error last night, which was one of the first ones they've made since the All-Star break. They've had a real good run going. 16 in their last 55 games. That has helped them climb into first place.
So 2 no decisions tonight. One for Harang, one for Tanner Roark. Braves have a couple of left-hand hitters, 3 out of the next 4 coming up, as a matter of fact, and then have to face a tough man, Matt Thornton, who was acquired from the Yankees on a waiver claim on August the 5th. A lot of folks who travel with the Nationals are wondering why in the world the Yankees would let this guy be claimed on waivers and get nothing in return.
This guy's got a good arm and he's tough. I don't get it. He was 0-3 with the Yankees, but he had a 2.55 ERA in 46 games. And he can bring it.
He leads all Major League Baseball left-handed relievers with 412 strikeouts since 2008.
Braves saw him with the White Sox a few years ago when he was really dominant. You might remember the game-winning hit that Brian McCann got in the All-Star game. It came off Matt Thornton.
He's quickly ahead of La Stella. 1 ball, 2 strikes. By the way, hope Brian's all right. He was placed on the 7-day concussion list.
Uh-oh.
The Yankees. He took a foul tip to the mask the other day. La Stella down the right field line. Can he keep that one fair? Harper gives chase and can't get there. Thornton will provide the power. Stella flirted with the right field foul pole.
Put a good swing on that pitch inside too.
That's on a play foul, a ball and 2 strikes. The Yankees save about $4.5 million, if I'm remembering correctly, by letting Thornton walk out the door. And he's a controllable player too. I think he's under contract next season as well for Washington now. But in this division, you face the Phillies, you face the Braves, you face the Marlins. Having a guy like this for late inning relief work, boy, that's invaluable. The Braves know all about that.
Yeah, they just got a leg up on everybody with this guy from the left side.
Drive toward left. That's playable for Franzen, who's had a quiet night. And Thornton gets La Stella to fly out to start the Atlanta 8th. 1 away. Here's Freeman.
Not only does he have a good arm, but he's got experience. And he doesn't walk a bunch of guys. With New York, in his 24 innings, he'd only walked 6 guys versus 20 strikeouts. So this was a steal for the Nats.
And it gives them a real luxury. They have 3 lefties in their relief corps now. Thornton, Ross Detweiler, and veteran Jerry Blevins. So Matt Williams can match up whenever he pleases late. No balls and a strike. Bases empty. 1 out. Atlanta 8th. Freeman get another fastball. It's 0-2. You're right, Joe. There's no great mystery. It's country hardball. Here it is, boys. Hit it if you can.
Yeah, he's trying to go right up the ladder on Freddie. Shoulda.
In the air to center, and Span will let that one drop. So Freeman's aboard with an 0-2 single.
Got him to chase 2 fastballs out of the zone, and you just figured he's going to go upstairs a little bit higher out of the zone, go up the ladder. He didn't. Tried to paint an outside corner, and Freddie served it.
It's now the task a little tougher for Thornton. He's got a right-hand hitter in Justin Upton. Faced 2 right-hand hitters since putting on a Washington uniform, and those 2 hitters are hitless. Upton sitting on hit 999. Tomahawk high strike, and Upton not sure about that.
Let's take a look at our PNC Bank pitch tracks. Well, I don't know. That was called a ball earlier tonight from Roark.
Bouncer toward Rendon. He waits, fires to second for one, and Upton beats the Rapid first. Freeman went in hard at second base. And Cabrera hung in there, took a little punishment. The inning stays alive for Hayward.
That's what you got to do to keep the inning alive. He's doing everything he can to make it hard on Cabrera to turn the double play, and maybe took a little steam out of the throw, allowed Justin to just beat it.
So lefty for Hayward tonight. He's knocked in the lone Braves run, a 6th inning sacrifice fly. So far, a game of missed opportunities for both offenses because the starting pitchers have been so effective. Washington's left 7. The Braves have stranded 6 men so far. It's upstairs, ball 2.
Well, he's just sitting on a 95. Fastball looks a little straight, but it's not wavering velocity wise.
That's hammered toward left. Franzen comes on, diving catch, and he makes the play. Interesting route taken by Kevin Franzen, but he recovers to send this game to the 9th. We're still tied 1 apiece. Will come on and pitch for Atlanta. He'll have Harper Ramos and Kevin Franzen coming up in game 2 of our series. Don't forget, Weezer will be in town for the Braves Summer Concert Series Tuesday, August 12th. It's presented by Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines. Free concert after the game. VIP field passes are available. They're $20 each. You know where to go for more information. Kimbrel saved his 33rd game here last night. Looked very impressive. As you said, Joe, well rested, very efficient, threw lots and lots of strikes. In fact, struck out 2 Nationals.
Well, when you think about it, Chip, it was 2 days ago. But who's counting?
Good point.
Yeah, he did look sharp, and he was pounding the zone with some fastballs last night. No save opportunity here. When you get to the 9th inning in a tie game, so that's when you can use your closer in the 9th with a tie game. Maybe you can pick up a win.
What's left of this crowd of 36,832 lustily booing Bryce Harper, who's in the box for the 4th time tonight. He is struck out and he has 2 blue pits. The left thumb proved problematic earlier tonight. Let's see if Kimbrel tests that. First pitch off the plate.
That had to sting a little bit too.
These 2 kids stay healthy, and they are still kids. Think about the number of matchups they're going to have in the big leagues the next 5 to 10 years. Won't that be fun? 1 ball, 1 strike. Roller. Harper's in a 1-2 hole. Kimbrel's faced Harper 5 times. Bryce has 1 hit against him. He struck him out 3 times.
So far, his best bolt has been to left field. A little late. Wonder if the thumb is preventing him from really getting that top hand working. So I don't know that I would speed his bat up by throwing him another breaking ball. Got a good cut at that. 98. Chased a ball, but it was he had some bat speed there.
That's what Matt Williams has said about Harper. He wants to see him turn it loose. And he did that time and stayed alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Outfield deep and shading Harper toward left. And that just missed, even count.
That pitch usually gets a swing, especially in that count. Left-handed hitters are usually trying to protect there and swing over the top of that one. He didn't offer. Double 9's in on his hands there.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch. And Harper went around. He's down on strikes. And Harper's retired to start the 9th inning. 1 away. Here's Ramos.
Got him to chase that time, and that wasn't as good a slider.
Ramos a good fastball hitter. He's 0 for 3 tonight.
And early in the count, aggressive.
Might have been lucky to get leather on that one. 1 ball, no strikes. Home run and a sacrifice fly have accounted for all the runs tonight. How close was this?
PNC Bank pitch track shows that Greg Gibson called it right.
Laced into the seats. 2 balls and a strike.
Second pitch at 99.
miss away. 3-1.
That looked pretty good. Let's take another look here at PNC Bank pitch tracks, but Gibson right again.
Now full count.
Last night, Kimbrel was pitching on, I think it was 5 days rest, and he was very fresh and sharp. That's carried over to tonight. He's cutting it loose. Ball's coming out of his hand beautifully.
Full count. And Ramos shoots it toward right. Jason with a jump makes the catch a step shy of the warning track. That ball was curling. And Hayward tracked it down for out number 2.
Yeah, started slicing back on him. That's why he had to reach back. Nice play.
So Franson, the final hope in the ninth for Washington. He's 0 for 3. Remember, Franson was not originally in the starting lineup tonight. Jason Worth was. And Worth is in the on-deck circle. Not sure if we're going to see Jason tonight with his myriad injuries. And here's hoping we don't. Let's retire Franson, get a run in the ninth, and head home happy. Line to center. There's the third out. Now let's get the run and go home in the win column. Kimbrel does his job. 3 up, 3 down. Evan Gattis leads off the Atlanta ninth next.
And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves.
The Braves are up for the bottom of the ninth inning. A run wins it for the Braves. Dodgers are in town next after tomorrow night's Sunday night game on ESPN, a 4-game series. We got the Weezer concert on the 12th and Evan Gattis bobblehead night on the 13th. It's presented by Grady Hospital. Be one of the first 20,000 in the ballpark. 800-745-3000 or Braves.com/tickets. The way to get them.
Perfect timing for Evan. Talk about the bobblehead. Have him put an end to this. True story.
Who's been tough against the Braves this year. 3 scoreless appearances. 43 games, Joe. A 1.72 ERA. Lifetime tough against Atlanta. Just a 1.93 earned run average.
Former closer. He's in the low 90s to mid and high 90s with a good slider.
Gattis is 1 for 3 tonight. And 0 for 3 against Storen in his career. First pitch swing had him off stride. And a fly ball shallow center. And Denard Span puts that away. 1 pitch, 1 out.
This guy's fortunes began to turn around a little bit when they got him to go to a leg kick. He had a real funny, just kind of step and stride delivery before, but when they got him to get into more of a rhythm with a higher leg kick, he started, actually his command got better, but he started pitching better as a result.
Great draft for the Nationals. Steven Strasburg went first in 2009. Drew Storen went 10th to Washington in that draft.
There are a couple of aspects about his stretch and delivery that are very Chris Medlin-like. Pulls the glove out away from him. Leg kick under the glove. Hat looks like Chris.
Yeah, but Chris has a much better fastball.
Yes.
Just kidding, of course. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two-game swing tonight. Braves win it, they're 2.5 back. If they don't, they're 4.5 back. And Johnson went around. He struck out. 2 up, 2 down. Bonifacio's the batter. He's 1 for 3. Not a surprise that runs would come at a premium tonight. Washington's staff has the 2nd best ERA in the league. The Braves 6th best. And Bonifacio with a shot into right field. He's got a 2-out hit. He didn't waste any time. That's his first career hit against Drew Storen. And now Ramiro Pena grabs a bat. We know all about Ramiro Pena and his heroics against Washington in his Braves career.
Want to see the difference between just a guy who's making good pitches but misses just a little bit. You go back to the pitch that Bonifacio hit. They wanted a fastball away. Ramos was set up outside, and he made the mistake of delivering to the middle of the plate. Target away, pitch to the middle, hammered. Not that big a difference when you look at it, but it is to hitters.
Last year, Ramiro Pena hit a home run off Craig Stammen. That proved to be a game winner for the Braves. Beauty here is you don't have to hit a homer to maybe win it. Bonifacio can fly. You split a gap, and he might come all the way around to score with 2 outs.
He may get to second base ahead of that. Remember, we talked last night about Ramos and his good arm. He's thrown out 40% of base stealers.
One ball, no strikes. Pena, then B.J. Upton. Another half step for Bonifacio from first. He's going, great jump. The pitch is strike. The throw to second is going to be late. He got in safely. Desmond hung in there with the ball and base runner arriving at the same time. And Bonifacio is in safely with a key steal with 2 out.
See if Desmond threw a knee down in front of him. No, but his foot was right in front of the bag, and that's why he kind of took it out as he went by. One one of the little small intricacies of this play right here is if he gets thrown out, you lose your shortstop. Or do you? I mean, you lose your pinch hitter, rather. Or do you? You actually, if he had gotten thrown out, you could leave Pena in the game to play shortstop and still have him leading off the next inning. So a wise move to have Pena as the pinch hitter there by Freddie Gonzalez.
But the steal means Washington will take the bat out of Pena's hands. And they will go after B.J. Upton, the righty-righty matchup. And Upton's had an 0 for 4, 3-strikeout game. Pena means nothing offensively. The man that counts is the man at second base.
B.J. hit the home run last night, a big 2-run homer in the second inning. But he's also struck out 5 times in 8 at-bats so far in this series.
Bonifacio's got a huge lead at second. 2 on, 2 out, bottom of the 9th. Strike 1. Braves have won 10 of the last 14 against Washington in this ballpark. 3 of those games were walk-off wins for Atlanta. A 4th would be sweet tonight. Nothing in 1.
BJ's late. Based on those 2 swings, he was tardy on the fastball. He's trying to get his swing started, and in the process, the ball is getting by him.
No balls, 2 strikes. Upton asks for time.
Glasses may have fogged up a little bit.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch to BJ. Nice stop by Ramos. Wow.
Look at him. He's like, oh, look what I found. Boy, he overcooked his slider and just happened to find the web of his glove.
So maybe he'll shy away from that pitch. 1-2 now the count. Fastball away. 2-2. La Stella's on deck.
As sharp as he was to the first 2 hitters, Storen is not so sharp all of a sudden. Granted, he's trying to make a good pitch, not make a mistake with the winning run at second base, but not quite as loose as he was.
Little bouncing ball towards short. Desmond's got it and flips to first in time, and that will retire the side. The Braves threaten with 2 outs but cannot push across a run, and after a 3-hour and 41-minute rain delay to start tonight's play, now we go to extra innings. your wild side. Joe and Chip with you on a rainy night in Atlanta. 1:35 a.m. Eastern Time.
This is already guaranteed to be the latest finish in Turner Field history. June 28th of 2004, a 3-hour, 20-minute rain delay at the start. Braves beat the Marlins 6-1 in 2.5 hours. There were only 5,000 fans left at the beginning of the game, and 2,000 when the game ended at 1:25 a.m. We've done a whole lot better than that tonight with the folks that have hung around here.
But luckily for us, it's given us a lot of time to think about the trivia answer. Who's the last national expert to lead the league in hits?
Grizzolani.
The G-Man?
Mm-hmm.
Really? I'm going to say Tim Raines, who I think should be in the Hall of Fame. No, it's Vladimir Guerrero.
Didn't even mention him, did we?
Nope. So Scott Hairston's going to pinch hit for Storen. David Carpenter's the man on to pitch for the Braves.
It was a G-Man. It was just the wrong G-Man.
There you go. Nine, 1-2 in the 10th. And a strike.
David Carpenter's had his fastball back. 3 appearances on the road trip. He struck out 6 batters in 3 2/3 innings.
Breaking ball. Hairston gave up on that. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Braves have out hit Washington 8-7. And have left 8 on base. Make it 9 on base. I beg your pardon. And Carpenter got Hairston to swing and miss.
Good heater. And now a guy that has been the difference maker for them. He didn't hit the homer. LaRoche did that, but this guy's been on base twice. He's got the ability to get on and then steal. Best to keep him off once he decides he wants to get ready to hit.
Liner. It's going to hang up for Hayward, who got a good jump. Bernard Span is on everything the Braves are throwing his way.
I mean to tell you, he's hitting everything hard.
And here's Cabrera. As Drubel's 1 for 3. That hit came way back in the first.
That sounds like something I'm about to start doing. That's Drubeling.
Just don't do it on the drive home. Need you back here on Monday. Pitch outside corner for Cabrera, strike 1. Teams that travel hate to play the Sunday night game just because of the inconvenience that it provides for the traveling party. As that ball's hammered down the right field line, did he keep it fair? No, thankfully. Didn't miss by much. 0-2.
Boy, he was trying to put some body English on it, though. He was trying to help it.
But I think it's safe to say, Joe, that after the long delay tonight, neither club will mind playing an 8 o'clock game tomorrow.
No, and that may have been part of the factor of waiting to start this game so late, is knowing that it was a night game tomorrow.
And our gloom and doom forecast of bad rain around midnight, knock on wood, hasn't happened. Approaching 2 a.m. and nary a drop has fallen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2-2. There's one game still in progress in the big leagues, and that's in Anaheim, where the Red Sox and Angels are tied. They're in the 14th inning. It's a 3-3 game. Angels need to win to keep pace with the A's, who lead the division. Oakland was victorious 9-4 over Minnesota. Jeff Samardzija got the victory for Oakland. And we'll see the A's here in Atlanta next weekend. The pitch. A fly foul out of play by Cabrera.
Now, there used to be a curfew in the American League. There is no curfew, obviously, in the National League. You can play all night. I don't know if that curfew still exists in the American League with interleague play, where you were not allowed to start an inning after 1 a.m.
Cabrera's down on strikes. Boy, did Carpenter look efficient. 3 up, 3 down. 2, 3, and 4 coming up for Atlanta in the home 10th. We're still tied. Inning, of course, and the Braves will have their 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up. Let's first check out our Subway box score.
Tough night for B.J. Upton with 3 strikeouts. The Braves got their run in the 6th inning thanks to a walk to La Stella, a base hit by Freeman. Braves actually loaded the bases up with nobody out, and a sacrifice fly by Jason Hayward provided their run tonight. Blasio at shortstop's had a good game. 2 hits, a couple of good plays.
Well, the right guys are coming up for the Braves against a man we hope will be the right opponent. Tyler Clippard, though, has been resurgent this season against the Braves after really struggling last season, maybe the last 2.
Pitched an inning last night, gave up a base hit to Pena, but also struck out 2 hitters. First batter always important in extra innings to the road team.
And La Stella, who's reached base twice tonight, has scored the lone Atlanta run. Looks at a ball outside.
Fastball changeup for Clippard.
Missed badly with ball 2. Both runs came in the 6th. Adam LaRoche homered. La Stella scored on a sac fly after the Braves loaded the bases with nobody out. Good cut, but fouled back. 2-2.
Right on it.
Well, you hitters know when you get your pitch and you foul it straight back, don't you?
Yep, it's a killer. Because you don't figure to get it again in that at bat.
Bouncing ball. Cabrera, tricky hop, stayed with it and got his man for out number 1. Well, another 3-hit game for Freddie Freeman. Four hits in the series for the Braves first baseman. We had a 3-hit game in the finale in Seattle, so perhaps Freddie's bat is coming to life. He's pumped his average up to 288. And he was swinging early. Strike 1. That's out of play to the left. Clippard has been a guy that Freeman's had a great deal of success against. His career numbers in 14 at bats, Freeman has 5 hits, including a double and a homer. He's only struck out 3 times in those 14 times up.
Let's see what Clippard wants to do here. If he wants to stay with a changeup, Freddie just took a good swing at one. There was a change and a bad one.
Gentle breeze picking up, blowing out toward right center. And now the 1-2 pitch is low. There's the change. 2-2.
That's 3 straight.
Off a breaking ball. So Freeman fell behind 0-2. Now Clippard's run it full.
All off speed. Will they stay with it?
Freeman takes a walk and Clippard wanted the call. Didn't get it. A 1-out pass brings up Justin Upton. And Upton has enjoyed seeing Tyler Clippard. 2 career homers, including one in early April. In that game, Upton's homer came in the 8th to tie it, and then he had a walk-off single in the 10th. On April the 11th.
Is that the game where Clippard, after giving up the homer, went in the dugout and had a little hissy fit?
I think so. He slammed the bench.
Yeah.
Hit the cooler, the bench. Yeah, I think it was the cooler. One ball, no strikes. Pretty pitch. Wouldn't it be sweet if Justin Upton picked up hit number 1,000 and made it a walk-off game-winning hit against the first-place Nats tonight? It's all there for the taking here in the 10th. Too high.
He's got a pitch to play with here if he wants to look for the changeup and just stay back and sit on it. And here it comes.
popped it up, and Upton's really mad. He got the pitch he wanted and got under it. And Franzen puts it away for the second out. He guessed right.
Yep.
Just popped it up.
He couldn't believe he missed that.
So Clipper dodged a bullet, but now another tough hitter.
Right on it. Stayed back and just under it.
And he knew it instantly. Jason Hayward's 5 for 10 against Clipper. And looks low at ball 1.
Outfield very deep. Trying to cut off any chance at a double that might score Freddie Freeman and win the game.
Pop fly, foul ground. Rendon got there quickly, but has no play.
Need a wild pitch or ball in the dirt, bounces away a little bit just to get old Freddie in the scoring position so a single could win it.
One pitch for Jason Hayward. And fouled away. A ball and 2 strikes. Clippard was originally a Yankee, traded for Jonathan Baladejo back in December of 2007. 1-2 pitch. Back toward us and out of play.
That's another good pitch that he's fought off tonight. Wouldn't be a pitch that he would normally swing at, but when they come in on him and they're ahead in the count, this one was up a little bit, able to fight it off and stay alive. Again, that was not where Ramos wanted that. He just wanted something in.
One-two count for Hayward. And he nearly got hit. Clippard's been very good. He's been very durable. 4 straight seasons of 70 or more appearances. He's in his 53rd game tonight. Years ago, he was their closer and saved 32 games. He has 34 lifetime saves in the big leagues. Uneven count, 2-2. Hayward strokes that toward left. Franzen's coming on, and he's going to get there. And Tyler Clippard works around a 1-out walk and works his way through the middle of the Braves order. Now Atlanta faces the Washington trio, 3, 4, and 5, heading to the 11th. Jack Link's beef jerky. Feed your wild side. We head to the 11th inning. Game tied at 1 apiece. Well, some hearty souls. Youngsters are hanging in there tonight as we approach 2 a.m. Eastern time. And with that in mind, let's take a look at our Chevron pitching matchup later on tonight. At 8 o'clock Eastern time, ESPN will feature a couple of left-handers. Gio Gonzalez for Washington. Alex Wood will take the ball for the Braves.
Been a rough year for Gio. You can see by those numbers, not the kind of year that the Nats were hoping from him. Although his batting average against is still very low. Alex Wood has been a guy that's pitched well, had a lot of tough luck. Excellent ERA for him. So we'll see which left-hander can prevail tomorrow night, tonight, as it turns out right now.
So David Carpenter out for a second inning of work. And he's got Rendon to lead things off. You mentioned eager to swing early in the count. And he didn't get a fastball. Good idea, and it was taken for a strike.
As you said, the scary part of their order.
Rendon 0 for 3. He's walked tonight. And took a ball high for an even count. Braves have had tons of chances tonight. They've left 10 on base. Their best chance came in the 6th when they scored their lone run. Bases loaded, nobody out. They got one. It was against Tanner Roark, who went 7 innings of 1 run, 6 hit ball. Aaron Harang equally effective. He went 7 with 7 hits and 1 run.
Yeah, the key batter in that inning was Gaddis. After the sacrifice fly, he was able to strike Evan out. Comebacker into the inning.
Rendon shoots one over first. That'll drop in front of Hayward for a leadoff hit. So behind in the count, Rendon singles. That's his first hit of the game, his second hit of the series. And as you said a moment ago, for the Braves offense, same applies for Washington. Their leadoff man is aboard.
Yeah, that hurts. Fought off a 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
You know LaRoche can hit the fastball. He did that in the 6th. 2-hit night for Adam. By the way, that home run, the 5th among 9 career hits against Aaron Harang. Ground ball through the right side. That's a base hit. Rendon will stop at second. Washington has first and second with nobody out. Big game for Adam LaRoche, a 3-hit night.
That might have been a 1st to 3rd situation were it not for another similar situation that Chris Johnson found himself in earlier tonight, where he had to jump over a base hit. Rendon runs pretty well, but he had to do a hopscotch over the baseball.
No hits for Desmond tonight in 4 tries. And he's a little late. Runners in scoring position, less than 2 out. That's where Desmond's really done his damage. He's a .421 hitter in that situation. 81 men in scoring position. He's knocked in 31 of them. And that ball's hammered toward left. It fooled Upton, and he somehow recovered to snare it. Wow. At the last moment, Upton reached up and hauled it in. If he doesn't, the Rabbits are loose for Washington. What a play.
He's getting a big hand from his first baseman, too, for that grab. Well, I mean, he caught that right out in the web of his glove, too. Timed this jump perfectly right there. Just able to nab it. Ball was ripped. Nice play.
So that'll be the last hitter faced by David Carpenter. David works an inning and a third, a couple of strikeouts and a couple of hits. Bryce Harper is up for Washington, and Freddie Gonzalez will go to James Russell. Russell will be the new pitcher for Atlanta. He will square off with Harper when we come back for the 11th.
And the Home Depot.
Full moon tonight in Atlanta. 1-1, 11th inning, 2 on, 1 out, and it's a lefty-lefty matchup. Bryce Harper up for Washington. James Russell is on to pitch for the Braves. It's Russell and Harper with the game on the line.
Ben Russell's home debut with his new ball club, and inherits a tough spot with 2 on and 1 out. His numbers combined between the Cubs and the Braves.
You understand the strategy for Freddie Gonzalez, go lefty-lefty here. But the numbers also suggest that James has had better luck against right-handed hitters this season than lefties. And Bryce Harper 2 for 2 in his career against Russell. So we'll see what gives here.
That was not the case last year, though. His numbers pretty much reversed last year, lefties and righties. We'll see how it works out.
So another chance to boo Bryce Harper. 2 for 4, a couple of singles. Also a couple of strikeouts. Inside, ball 1.
Infield's got to knock the ball down. Kevin Gaddis has got to do his best job to keep the ball from bouncing by him or through him. Both of those hits against Russell for Harper were doubles.
Yanked foul. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Missed upstairs with a changeup, and then went back downstairs there to try it with an off-speed pitch, but couldn't get him to offer because it started too low. Rendon has good speed.
LaRoche does not. And Adams the man at first, the trail runner. And a 3-1 count for Harper. And the bases are loaded for Washington with 1 out. So now Ramos is scheduled. Russell unable to retire Bryce Harper. It might be a 1-hitter appearance for James. Freddie Gonzalez makes his way out of the dugout. The Braves had Anthony Favaro up and loosening. And it looks like he will be summoned with the bases loaded and 1 out. Washington with a severe threat in the 11th. Tie game, bases full. Back to Atlanta after another break. A tie game, 1 apiece. ACC fans get the most in-depth coverage and analysis of the conference you love as each week James Bates, Coy Wire, Jim Grove, and Algie Crumpler, which in the middle of all the action, they take you inside the reigning conference in college football. ACC Gridiron Live, presented by McAllister's Deli, premiering Wednesday, August 27th at 10 Eastern on Fox Sports South.
Anthony Barbaro's been in a lot of games lately. The Braves have played 7 games. This is the 7th game in the month of August. This is the 5th game he's been in. Granted, there have been a couple of off days mixed in there too that have helped him get some rest. And he's getting a lot of action. And did not have a good outing last night. Gave up 2 runs to these guys in 2/3 of an inning.
He needs a redeemer, and he's got the catcher Ramos up. Bases full, 1 out. First pitch swing, fly ball, shallow center. That's going to drop for a hit. 1 run is in. Washington plays it station to station. And Ramos has given the Nationals a 2-1 lead.
Ramos was the guy that hit the homer off of Barbaro last night. And that was certainly no homer, but he fought it off strong enough to get the run in. Ran in on him and just fought it off. That run charged to Carpenter.
So the leadoff man comes home to roost for the Nationals in the 11th. This is Kevin Franzen again with 1 out. He's 0 for 4. I think the last 2 games are a microcosm of the Braves season offensively. When they hit home runs, they look like juggernauts. When they don't hit home runs, they struggle to manufacture runs. That was certainly the case tonight. Braves had 8 hits, left 10 on base. That's down the right field line, and that's trouble. Hayward can't get it, and that's going to bounce off the fence. A couple of runs are going to score for Washington as the ball gets away from La Stella. Now Ramos is going to try to chug home. Freeman's pegged to the plate, will be not in time. Ramos got in under the tag of Evan Gattis, and Washington has a 4-run 11th. And now Freddie Gonzalez is out for a chat.
Yeah, the throw beat him by a mile, but have to look at a replay of this to make sure, because it looked like he slid under the tag. He was tagged very high. You see the tag was up like on the thigh, but I think they're going to have to reverse that one. I think he still got him.
It's a double and 2 RBIs for the moment for Franson.
Here we go. Yeah, he's out.
And that high home look will give Greg Gibson and replay in New York a chance to talk it over.
If they're still there.
Yeah, good point. So the play is under review. The play at the plate was ruled safe. See if there's enough clear and convincing evidence to overturn that call and prevent another run. No problem with Gattis providing a lane. The tag
was a high tag, but he got him.
And I'm sure what Gibson saw was exactly what you said, the high tag. Eyes can't see 2 places at once.
Whatever they call, I mean, the point is that they've already got 3 runs across. This would be the 4th. The damage has already been done. Crew Chief Jerry Davis in there with him. And he is out.
So Ramos is out at the plate. Call is overturned. Freddie Gonzalez's challenge saves a run. So the putout goes 3-2. 2 RBIs for Franson. Now Jason Worth will indeed grab a bat. So 3 across in the 11th. 4-1 Washington. Worth's hitting here. You figure he'll be playing later tonight. And ball outside.
You might call him Willie Worth.
Yes, you might. And his launch counter, as far as the home runs are concerned, stands at 12. This guy's a good player. I think he has really helped dramatically change the image of the Nationals. Remember, they signed him from the Phillies during the great Phillies run. Worth became a free agent, and the Phillies couldn't agree to terms with Jason Worth. He went to Washington and has really helped try to change the culture of that locker room. Veteran leader who's been through the wars. As Anthony misfires to Worth. And this agonizingly long 11th inning continues. An 8th man will hit, and that man is Denard Span, who's been on everything tonight. And now Roger McDowell's out for a chat. So if this score holds, we'll be back to where we started in the series. That makes tomorrow night or tonight's game even more important. So Worth draws a walk, and the Nationals will not let him run the bases here. It is Steven Souza, the man that splattered himself up against the right field fence last night. Four hits, 2 walks for the Washington offense in the 11th. Come on, Denard, let's go. 2 on, 2 out. Close the book on David Carpenter. 2 runs in his inning in the 3rd. Russell walked a man. He came home to score. .24 seconds between pitches.
Well, part of that is the sign issue. Can't get together on signs. Having to go back through the series, then having to watch Denard Span ask for the umpire to wait and let him get ready.
Two balls and a strike. I know it's 2:20 in the morning, so all of our patience is rather thin at this time of night.
Yeah.
But this kind of stuff, I believe, truly is killing the game. It's killing interest in the game for young fans, old fans. There are plenty of rules on the books that mandate time between pitches. If the umpires are not going to be enforcing it, or they're not going to be empowered to enforce it, it's only going to get worse. You can have all the pitch clocks you want. If you're not going to apply the letter of the law as it exists now, then what's the point of having the rule in the first place? 2-2 pitch, and Span strikes out. Long inning, very fruitful one for Washington. They score 3 times, and now the Braves have their last call. Rafael Soriano, we presume, will try to close it out. It's a 4-1 Nationals game. The Nationals played 3 runs in the 11th inning's top half. They sent 8 men to the plate against Carpenter, Russell, and Anthony Favaro. Now their closer, former Brave Rafael Soriano, will try to finish it off. He's got Gaddis, Johnson, and Bonifacio due for the Braves.
He's had a good year. 4 blown saves, but a 1.83 ERA in 45 games. With right out a strikeout per inning pitched and just a $1.78 hit against him. Still throws in the low 90s. Throws a lot of cutters now after spending some time with the Yankees and learning at the side of the master. He has developed a real good cutter to go with a slider.
He's got to face Evan Gaddis first. Tough night for Evan. 1 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. Pitchers of record tonight, Carpenter and Clippard. Soriano trying to save it. And a strike. Alex Wood and Gio Gonzalez just a few short hours on ESPN later tonight. And we will join you again for the Dodgers series. 4 games against Los Angeles beginning Monday night. Strike 3 takes care of Gaddis. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. 1 away. Gaddis struck out for the 3rd time. Here's Chris Johnson. Chris is 1 for 4.
After the home run barrage last night in the first 2 innings, Braves bats have gone cold. You got the home run from La Stella in the 5th inning. But since the 2nd inning of last night, they've scored 2 runs in 15 innings. Twelve hits over that stretch.
Well, I think that's really the challenge for the Braves here over the final 2 months of the season. Atlanta, at the moment, 3.5 games out of first place. When they play a game and don't hit a home run, they're 10 games under 500. When they do homer, the Braves are 40-17, and that was the point I was trying to make a moment ago. This truly is a Jekyll and Hyde offensive ball club. It has been from the opening bell this year. And that man really has no answers. Talked about it in the beginning of the broadcast tonight. If the Braves wanted to win the game, they would have to manufacture some runs. They haven't been able to do it. 7 runs yesterday for Atlanta. Homers. 3 2-run homers, and then La Stella's solo shot.
That's a good point.
Two balls, 2 strikes for Chris. With Bonifacio on deck. And he's down on strikes. Soriano hands the Braves their 2nd out of the inning. And Bonifacio got his first start at shortstop for the Braves tonight. He's responded with a 2-hit game. And Simmons, we mentioned earlier, walking around the clubhouse a lot less painfully. The left ankle still wrapped. It's hoped he'll be able to go Tuesday against Los Angeles. And a strike. It's 0-1. Ground ball to first. Bad hop. Ricochet to second. Soriano covered the bag, but it's late. That's a bad hop base hit for Bonifacio. His third hit of the game. The Braves aren't done yet.
That was good hustle by Phil Cousy right here, the first base umpire. Calls the ball fair off of LaRoche, but now he gets himself, he doesn't become a spectator at 2:30 in the morning, because he gets over into foul territory where he's got a good look at the runner getting to the bag and the throw coming. You see him there at the bottom of your screen to make the call. He didn't stand back there at the back of the infield cut out of the grass. Nicely done. He'll be behind the plate later on tonight.
So the Braves are still alive for Phil Gosselin. A few more pitches coming for Soriano. Would be a bad idea to push his pitch count as high as possible. Maybe make him unavailable later on in tonight's series wrap up. One try, a strike. Thinking there, get on base any way you can and bring the potential tying run to the plate. Fly ball to right. And that should take care of business. And it does. The Nationals have evened the series. Soriano saves it. Braves fall 4-1. Plenty of opportunities for Atlanta tonight in the middle innings, but could not push across more than one. Series even at a game apiece. Braves fall 4.5 back again in the East. A very long night of baseball in Atlanta. Joe and I will take Sunday off. Enjoy the Sunday night game with the rest of you in Braves country. Join you back here at the ballpark Monday night for the Dodgers. Thanks as always to our great crew here in Atlanta. Thanks as well to Joe Simpson for a job well done. Chip Carey from Atlanta. 4-1 Washington evens up the series here in Atlanta. Good morning, everybody.